708 on Channel 95.7. Friday morning, 46 degrees now, 62, and sunshine today.
Gorgeous weekend. We got it.
Did you see that there was a New York doctor that got diagnosed with Ebola?
I did, and now
He's from Michigan.
They have 3 people in quarantine because he rode a subway and he went bowling and he did all kinds of things. But they're saying that it should be contained just to him.
Right.
Like he should not have been passing
And
it.
the minute he realized that he may have it, he and his girlfriend, who were in New York City, they called the police, called whatever. They roped off their house or their apartment complex.
Said, hey, I might have the Ebola. He had been in Africa because I saw it this morning, and I'm like, doctor in New York? Oh, no. But he had been in Africa treating people with Ebola, so he brought it with him. So it's not like it has made its way to New York. He brought it to New York.
Right.
You know, so that is a little better, I guess, if you're talking about it. I mean, it's a little better to me. I felt better about it.
Well, it doesn't seem like everybody's being so dramatic about it like, a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
I think we're learning more about Ebola. The fact that you really have to try hard to pass it to someone else. Unless you, like, these doctors are getting it and nurses are getting it because they are having contact with the people who are infected. Right. And, like, the most intimate, I mean, not the most intimate, but they are right up there getting all the juices and everything on them. You and I are not going to get juices on us. Just walking down the street, sitting in Big B. We're never going to get the juice on us.
The juice.
Right?
Thank God. Yeah, he went to Wayne State.
He did.
Which is in Detroit. So that's where my brother, that's where he went to med school. That's where my brother went to med school as well.
Really? Does he know him?
Wayne State University. No, this guy was young, 33.
Okay, so young guy.
He's a young dude.
In Africa helping. Do you think that this now will limit the amount of doctors who want to go do stuff like that? I mean, you think, okay, this is what your job is. This is your passion. You're going to go.
Yeah.
So people will be lining up still to help these people out.
I believe they will.
Now, I know, Amanda, you were hit pretty hard by, like, the fear machine.
I was hit pretty hard last week, and I don't know why.
Do you feel better about Ebola now that you have gotten some education on it, or are you still kind of concerned?
No, I think I feel a little bit better now. I don't know why last weekend I was driving to my parents' house after work, and I have to go through Chicago.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not going to stop at any place in Chicago just because I felt like it was a bigger city, so there's more of a likelihood because people are coming through there from all over the world.
Yeah, I mean,
just because of the airport and that.
I mean, you were scared.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not stopping there.
She was looking about maybe going up through the UP, and that made no sense because it would add like an extra 12 hours to the trip. She's like,
that's a beautiful trip, though. I used to do
is.
that when I lived in Wisconsin. I would come back to visit my parents. I would do that a lot, actually.
So she's like, I'm just going to go and not stop at an oasis, not stop anywhere.
Well, she was worried because somebody here was sick last week.
Yes.
Somebody here had the flu.
Yeah.
She was like, oh.
Well, and then
I don't want to touch anything in the kitchen.
And then the plane that stopped at Ford Airport, and then they rushed to get the people off because they might have Ebola. Yet they had nothing near Ebola, but that's what the news
was.
Picked
That the
up.
one where 5 people got sick or 3 people got sick, all got sick at the same time on a flight,
yes,
though?
but it was like cold symptoms. So what it was is they were sneezing and letting the juice fly around, and that's what people were freaking out about. Like, oh no, we got the juice in the plane now.
It is strange, though, that 5 people get sick all at the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Well,
we're all sick now.
I don't think they became sick. They were all just sick.
Oh.
So the one lady was all wheezy and like sneezy, and people were concerned.
The headline I read said they all got sick on the flight.
Okay, and maybe they did then. I didn't see the headline. I just saw the news story where they were talking about how the lady had the cold, and people around her like called the stewardess over and said, I don't want the juice on me or anywhere near me. And then they quarantine. It's like, no, this lady has a cold. She's fine. So, yeah, I don't know. Is there going to be like a mass hysteria now?
No, I don't think so.
It's in Texas. It's in New York. I mean,
I don't know. I think that most of us feel more educated now, like you said.
I mean, we definitely, the media has done a good job. They've done a good job of telling us how we can avoid getting the Ebola.
Yeah.
Don't go to Africa. Don't get bitten by a monkey in Africa. Don't get the juice on you from a person who has the Ebola.
Right.
And there you go.
And Yeah.
Avoid the juice.
And we're in Michigan, so nothing here yet, right?
I mean,
Right.
nothing. And we have,
Yay.
was seeing, read an article about all of the diseases that kill more people
Right.
than Ebola is
Yeah.
killing. Now, in Africa, Ebola is killing thousands
lot
of
of
people.
people,
But
right.
here in America, it was like more people die from TB or die from the encephalitis or die from the flu even
Right.
than are dying from the Ebola. So it's the hot topic button, but
Right.
it's definitely not the main
Well, I
thing.
think because everybody was afraid it was going to turn into a mass scale thing.
Well,
Right.
like the movie, what's that movie where the monkey bites the guy?
The Ebola movie?
Yeah, back in the day with Dustin Hoffman, Outbreak.
Outbreak, right.
and the doctors have to come in with their suits on.
Which, how crazy was that? That was so long ago.
Right. Well, because it's been a global issue.
Right.
It just
I can't
hasn't-
believe that it hasn't been here before
It just
now.
hasn't been, and maybe it has. We just have
Maybe
been
we
missing
don't know. I don't know.
it. And now with the 24-hour news cycle, because that was like '94, they were talking about the Ebola.
Mm-hmm.
There is a very funny Saturday Night Live spoof of Ebola.
Okay.
From back in '94, around that Outbreak movie.
Okay.
Where David Spade pretends to be Jeff Foxworthy. Does the "You might be a redneck," but it's "You might be Ebola." So he goes around talking all about it. It's pretty funny. Amanda and I were watching that the other day. We can throw that up at mychannel957.com. That's 20 years ago. And
Right.
it was still pretty
that's
funny.
crazy.
I mean, Sarah Silverman didn't get any grief for the Fault in Our Stars Ebola sketch that she did on SNL a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. But you would think that people would have been more outraged about that than a Breaking Bad doll.
The other thing that is up at mychannel957.com that I think is hilarious is the Zach Galifianakis and Brad Pitt Between Two Ferns.
Man.
Is that what it's called? Between Two Ferns?
Yeah, that's like his video series.
So funny.
Talking about Ross and Rachel on Friends.
Playing the Friends music is very, very, very funny.
Asking Brad why he doesn't shower. Because
Bradley Pitts.
we've all heard that he's a dirty, dirty hippie.
Right.
Bradley Pitts. You can see it if you haven't seen it yet. mychannel957.com.
And the new thinner Zach Galifianakis.
Looking good, isn't
yeah,
he?
he does look good.
Do you think he will discover, like Jonah Hill, that fat equals funny, and he'll go back to being fat?
I don't know. He was very funny in this, so
Well,
I don't
but
know.
Jonah Hill thought that he had lost his mojo,
Yeah.
kind of an Austin Powers type thing, and he said, "I just need to get back in it." He said everybody was focusing on how thin I was and not how funny I was.
Right.
And he's like, "So I said, screw it. I'll just go back to eating."
Well, funny people need to hear that they're funny all the time. So if you're not telling them that,
Exactly. Exactly. Then it's like,
Right,
hey, you're,
Curtis?
You're thin now. I do. I don't feel like I hear
You're
it enough.
funny. You're funny.
Thank
You're
you.
funny. You're funny. You're funny.
Thank you. What, Amanda?
You're funny.
Thank you.
Wake up.
See on Channel 95, 728 Friday morning, 47 degrees now, 62 and sunshine eventually today.
Come on, son. Let's do this.
I was just reading an article about sick day excuses that people use. This is from Career Builder. They did a survey. They asked people, what sick day excuses do you use?
Okay.
And there's a bunch of them, but the one that made me laugh the most was, I woke up in a good mood and I don't want to ruin it.
If coming into work is going to sour my mood, I'm not.
I accidentally got on a plane. I tried to dry my uniform in the microwave and it caught on fire. I got stuck in the blood pressure machine at the grocery store.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
I hooked up with someone at their place last night and I don't know where I am.
That's funny.
I just put a casserole in the oven.
See, why would you do that? Right? That's just bad planning.
My legs fell asleep in the bathroom. Then I stood up, fell, and broke my ankle.
I've had that happen.
But the last one reminds me of a story. I have a story for you. I was at a
Okay.
casino all weekend, and I still have money left to play with.
I gotta
so
keep
I gotta
going.
keep going. Last time I was at a casino a few weeks ago, I was at a slot machine, and there were women on each side of me. They were sisters.
Okay.
And we started talking. And when I sat down at the slot machine, there's that flyer that says, do you know when to say when?
Oh, okay.
Whatever, if you have a gambling
Yeah.
problem. And I sat down and it was like on the empty machine in between them. And I looked at them and they started laughing. And the one said, oh, yeah, those my husband got those for us. And I said, okay, why? Have you been here a long time? She goes, I've been at this machine. And this was at like 1 o'clock on a Saturday. And she had been at the same machine since 2 o'clock the afternoon before.
Oh my
The
goodness.
same machine. She goes, I've not moved from this machine except for to
Wow.
go to the bathroom.
So what's the ethical thing there? Like if I go to the bathroom, is it still my machine?
Yeah, you keep your player's card in there and somebody watches it for you. And and
Okay.
you leave your money in there.
So I have a friend
Yes.
who will watch it for
Yes.
me, and then I can have that. So she had been there for 24 hours?
Yeah. and she goes, yeah, but it gets worse than that.
Oh, no.
And I said, what's worse than that? They had started on a Wednesday. They're from Flint.
Okay.
They had started on Wednesday. They went down to Detroit to MGM and Greektown and all the casinos down there. And then the next day, they went up to Mount Pleasant to Soaring Eagle.
Okay.
And then the next day, they went to Firekeepers in Kalamazoo.
Little Michigan casino tour.
And then I saw them at Gun Lake, and where she had been for 24 hours.
So she had been at one machine for 24 hours at Gun Lake, but she had been gambling for a week.
There was a family. It was a sister, husband, mom.
That's like your dream vacation right there.
I said, are you winning? You must be. I mean, how much money have you spent to nothing? And like, they hadn't slept the night before. They went a couple nights without even sleeping.
Okay. Well, yeah, if she's been at that machine for
That's
24
crazy.
hours.
Can you imagine?
How much money had they won?
None.
Okay. So
They had won zero.
They were even.
And no, they weren't even.
They were
down.
down.
She said we could probably buy a car at this point. I was like, oh.
The entire group would have enough money.
Yeah.
A couple
And then her
$1,000.
sister said we could probably buy two.
Wow.
I'm like, okay. Do you think that's a normal thing, or do you think that that's like a once a year?
I think that,
or once every couple years.
I mean,
thing?
once a year still is a normal thing for them, right? If every year they go and do that.
That's so much gambling.
Think how much
Yeah.
fun, though.
Yeah.
And you have to have a lot of money.
Right.
Like my problem is I run out of money.
Right.
And then I have to leave. I went to
too.
Vegas with some friends, and the whole third day, I had no money.
Yeah.
So I just sat doing nothing because
Did you at least go in the summer so you could like sit by the pool?
No, it was winter, and I had no money.
Yeah, that sucks.
So I literally did nothing. I sat in the sports book and watched, and then they said, you need to gamble. And I was like, okay. And then I had to leave the sports book. I mean, I did nothing.
right.
Nothing. I had no money.
Yeah.
It was the worst day ever in Vegas because
Right.
they had money. Mm-hmm. You can't even go into the bars if you aren't gambling.
Right.
So there was nothing for me to do in Vegas that third day.
Well, in the husband, the one sister's husband, he was just sitting off like at a machine, was not playing anything.
Okay.
And I said, that is the most patient guy I've ever seen in my entire life. Because
Yeah.
if Dan was out of money, we'd be going.
Right. It's time to
You know,
leave.
or if I was out of money,
Right.
we'd be going.
Time to
like,
leave.
Hopefully, we run out of money at the same time, or we win.
Yeah, I mean,
Which would be nice,
hopefully you
but that
hit a
doesn't happen very
jackpot.
often.
You know, if one of the two of you hit a jackpot and then we saw you in that Gun Lake commercial on TV,
I know.
or on the billboard, that would be something cool.
Yeah, we don't go there. We don't go very often anymore. We can't afford it.
Right? See,
can't afford it.
That's the bad part about
But
it.
yeah, so I thought, oh my gosh, they've been going around, and they were finally going home.
Okay, and they were from Flint, so they went to Detroit to
Mount Pleasant. To Kalamazoo.
Seems a very odd.
And the funny thing is, well, they weren't planned. I don't know if it wasn't planned.
Okay.
Or maybe I don't know.
They should have gone.
Maybe they were
Detroit.
losing at Firekeepers because they definitely said they had a room at Firekeepers for the night before that they did not go back and use. And I said, well, do you have to go back and get your stuff?
Right.
No, we put our stuff in the car just in case.
So they knew that it was a possibility. But they should have gone Flint, Detroit, Kalamazoo, Gun Lake, and then Soaring Eagle, and then
And
home.
then back to Flint.
That,
yeah.
I mean, if they need a trip planner, I mean, I'm here. I'm not working at AAA. I'm just saying I know a better route for
This
them
is your
to take.
gambling trip tip.
Here's where you want to go, right? Maybe head up a little further north. You could definitely.
Their mom was doing well, though.
Was she winning?
Yeah, that's why they kept sticking around. And then they were pulling out dollar bills
Okay.
because they were out of money.
Right.
And they kept showing each other where it said on that little "if you need help" flyer, it said, if you're down to dollar bills,
Funny.
you need to leave the casino.
And the husband had put that together for them. So he
You got 'em
knew-
each one?
He knew that eventually they would be down to singles, and he would need to go. Was he just tapping it, like sitting on his little
he
chair?
kept walking over and setting it back in front of them.
That is awesome.
I was like, wow, that's a tour of Michigan
So
for
next
sure.
summer, is that what you and Dan will do?
No,
Just a little,
we do
casino
not win
tour?
enough to be able to do that.
But because you don't.
That's why when we go to Vegas, we literally have like one maybe full day. If we go in the summer, we might have 2 full days.
Okay.
But one full day for sure of gambling, and that's pretty much it.
But you're not
'Cause
gaming
I've never
enough.
won in Vegas.
You need 24 hours at a machine. That's where you're going to hit it.
to do well enough at a machine for 24 hours. That would be fine.
Right.
I'd sit there.
Okay.
I have no problem doing that, but I've never had a machine do that well for that long.
What's the longest you've been in a machine?
few hours?
See, that's good at one
Few
machine.
hours.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 hours.
See, that's not bad.
Because I definitely,
And
yeah.
then the money just disappears. So
No, if I win at a machine, I will play that machine for a little while because you never know.
Right. Could he
But
win
I will
again?
never get back down to losing.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. So you don't go dry every time you're at the machine.
No.
See, I do.
No.
I
Do
just
you?
go, oh, yeah. I take
Once it hits, you're like, this machine must be lucky.
Exactly. Let's keep going and then take it down to 0.
Yeah, no.
And then you're all
I would
set.
hate myself if I did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we like you enough. That's okay.
Well, thank
Go
you.
ahead and try it.
Thank you.
Is that what happened to you, Amanda? You lost all your money?
No, the only time that I ever really put a substantial amount of money in a machine, which to me is $20.
Right.
I won an additional 21.
Boom.
Pulled my ticket out, cashed out, and just walked around and drank the free soda.
See? That's the way to do it. That's what you got to do.
You'll always be a winner that way, Amanda.
When I turned 18, there was a casino by my house, and my buddies and I, we all went, 18-year-olds, let's
Yep.
go do this. And we all lost immediately, and we spent like 4 hours just taking the pop and throwing it away. We would just take one drink, toss it, and then
Free stuff.
dump it out in the bathroom. It's like, yes, we'll get that money
Woo-hoo.
back. So that's you got your own ways to get back at them.
Well, and if they have a shop too, and you have points, you build up your points over the year.
Yeah, I never get
got a
points.
nifty coat that way last year.
What? Nice.
Remember that leopard coat, that fur leopard coat?
That's
That
from
fake fur?
Gun Lake?
Yeah.
Connie and Chris.
747. Channel 95.7.
747.
Yeah.
Channel 95.7.
Yeah.
See what you're doing?
Yeah.
You're saying all the 5 and 4 sevens.
It's Friday and it's so dark.
Oh,
It's 7:47. It's still dark. Isn't it always dark this long?
usually about 8 o'clock we start seeing the sun. Now next,
Crazy daisy.
in 2 weeks, it will be dark. It's going to be like 7 o'clock.
It
We'll
always
fall back.
confuses me.
So we'll be okay. It'll be early in the morning.
Falling back doesn't confuse me, but then all the lightness and the darkness and what. It's confusing.
It seems.
It is.
It'll be all right. You know what else is confusing people right now?
Right.
The gold iPhone 6.
That's what I have. Oh, no, I have the 5S.
You have the 5S.
Gold 5S. Why is that confusing them?
Because it has white joints, and the joints are turning blue, and it's because it's rubbing against people's jeans. People's jeans are staining their iPhone 6s. Only the gold ones. So the gold ones have the white in between the gold panels. The other ones have obviously other colors. So the white plastic strips are what are turning blue, and people are outraged because you don't want a stained phone. You want to
this phone has a lot of controversy around it.
It does. Remember, it bends when it's in your
Yeah.
pocket, and they said, "Hey, it's not going to break it. Go ahead and let it bend." Now it dyes blue.
Oh, no.
Now
My
Amanda,
phone case does that all the time.
Amanda was on.
Your phone case does what?
It has white on it, so when I put it in my jeans, it will also dye blue kind of. And you
I
can
guess
see
I don't
some of
really
it on there
put
right
things
now.
in my jean pockets because after you've washed them several times, don't they stop dyeing things that you put in there, or do they always?
I mean, if it's rubbing, it will still.
So you got to be sweaty around there.
I mean, if you're sweating around there,
so it's like wet.
it helps, but it
Okay.
doesn't need to be wet. It can
All right.
definitely it can dye it up no
Okay.
matter what you got. The rubbing, you could take something white, rub it on your jeans for 15 minutes, and it would have a little blue hue
Okay.
to it.
Yeah, I don't put things in pockets.
And no, because you're a purse person.
Right.
I mean, I'm straight up pocket all the time, hands down. That's where I live. I don't have a purse or a merce or a messenger bag. I don't have
I've
any
been
of
trying
that
to get him to get one for years.
that-
He won't do it.
I don't have
Now
enough
that you have
stuff.
Uggs, you should get a Merce.
I don't have enough stuff to put it in, right? If I had more than one
You
thing.
just get a little clutch.
A
Like a little
clutch.
cross body bag.
Yes, and that's exactly what I need. Anytime I'm with the girls and they go to the bathroom, I wear a cross body bag.
Do you?
Yeah, I was at the soccer game last weekend, and Haley had her little cross body bag, and she went to run off to play with her friends, and I wore the cross body bag for the remainder of the game.
Good dad.
It was a good look for
Yeah.
me. Had an iPad in there. I mean, because
Yeah.
you need to bring your iPad to the soccer game.
When you were 12 and you got an iPad, you're taking it everywhere with you.
She doesn't have the Wi-Fi.
It doesn't matter.
So she can
Doesn't
never
matter.
use
You
it.
have an iPad
She
now.
always takes it out. This is Haley and her iPad. Okay, so she brings it everywhere. And her
Right.
mom and I have told her 1,000 times, you don't need to bring it anywhere. It can just stay in your room. So bring it out. She'll go, there's no Wi-Fi. And I'll say, you're kidding me. There's no Wi-Fi in this field in the middle of nowhere? I'm shocked. Like, I cannot believe that there's no Wi-Fi here. Or she'll take it, and then she'll say, oh, the Wi-Fi is locked here. You're kidding me. These people don't want to share the Wi-Fi with you? Of course they don't. That's why Mom and I tell you to leave your iPad at home, because there's no Wi-Fi. Well, you should have got me one that had the G. And I said, yeah, and then who would be paying for that? Right? I'm not giving you a plan.
It's an accessory, Dad.
So that you can tweet wherever you want.
It's an accessory at this point.
Well, it needs to be put in the garbage. Right?
She doesn't have the mini, right? She's got an actual.
She has a mini.
The big, oh, she has a mini.
So she has the mini, and she's there playing with it. Katie has a Nook from back in the day because she wanted to read books only. And I said, you want an iPad? And this was for Christmas like 5 years ago. You want an iPad? No, I want a Nook. I said, you trust me. You're going to want an iPad. No, I want a Nook. So now we have a Nook. And it can't do anything. So all we do is wish we had 2 iPads. And then Haley has an iPad. So Katie and I will beg Haley, hey, can we see your iPad for a minute? No, use your Nook. I'm like, the Nook doesn't do anything.
Oh.
Right? The Nook won't work. We did get a Flappy Bird knockoff on the Nook called Floppy Bird. And I'm up to 4.
Funny. Floppy Bird.
I made it to 4.
Nice.
Which is impossible. Have you played the Flappy Bird, Amanda?
I have played it, yes.
How far can you get?
I think I've gotten to like 10 or 11.
Okay.
So I'm not good either.
I got to 4 yesterday. Flappy Bird is that game, Connie, where you are flying a bird, and if you hit the pipes, you lose.
Okay.
So anytime you make it through the pipes, you score.
Okay.
And I've made it through 4 pipes.
Okay.
That's it in my life.
So that means you made it through 10 or 11 pipes?
So Haley yesterday, I get to 4 after getting 1 several times in a row.
Yeah.
Haley knocks off a 20. Boom, 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 boom.
That's awesome.
There you go, Dad. It's easy. I'm like, no, it's not easy. It's impossible. That's the game that like 2 or 3 months ago, people were smashing their iPhones because they hated this game. It was so mind-numbing.
Okay.
Because you cannot do it well.
Yeah.
Kids seem to be able to do it well. Adults cannot do it well. So somebody said how to beat Flappy Birds. It was a YouTube video like maybe in August. And it started out, and he went 1, 2, smashed into the pipe, and then he hit his iPhone with a hammer. And he's like, there, Flappy Bird's beaten. I defeated Flappy Bird. It's a frustrating game.
Wow.
Speaking of frustrating games,
that's crazy.
Would you like a Kardashian update?
I would like one.
Okay,
Curtis
let's
is trying to sabotage his Kardashian. He had like 8 million zillion friends.
Yeah, I had 192 million.
He's trying to sabotage it now.
I got to a point where I had to spend money to achieve success. My fiance in the game had cheated on me, and I needed 5 stars on 3 dates in 24 hours, which means I had to complete 3 dates in 24 hours.
And you bombed him, right?
I went on my first date, and it was 24 hours long.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is impossible. I can't have 3 dates in 24 hours if this one date is going to last 24 hours without spending money.
Right.
Because I would need to blast through it with the energy. So I decided to tank it. And what do we have right now? I am at 75.8 million followers, ranked 237th in the game.
Wow, that's good.
That is good.
You're really doing a great job tanking.
I'm going to try to get down to 0. And
you had 191 million?
191.8.
So you're less than half of where you were.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So now I'm going to try to get to 0 or as close to 0 as I can get, and then Robert Downey Jr. it. Come back and see if I can once again become the #1 celebrity in the game.
Wasn't that your idea, Amanda?
It was my idea.
It was. Amanda said, why don't you Robert Downey Jr. it? And I was like, I should Robert Downey Jr. it.
I wonder if they'll start making you pay, make it so difficult for you to do it that you'll have to pay now.
And it probably will be difficult because I'll be at 0.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I'm starting over, but I'm on level 25.
Okay.
So the things that I have to do use so much more energy, and I won't have any. So we definitely have to see what is going to happen with this. But if I can overtake
Sitting on the edge of my seat.
Dirk Diamonds again.
Who's Dirk Diamonds?
He's my nemesis in the game.
Okay.
He and I do not get along at all.
Does he wear cool green pants too?
No, he does not wear pants.
He doesn't wear pants?
He has black pants. Black pants and a
No
shirt in the
wonder
back.
he's your nemesis.
Yeah, black
you
pants.
want to have no pants on.
He doesn't wear pants.
I'm wearing, as I'm trying to tank this game, I'm wearing a raincoat and sweatpants, and nobody likes my outfit at all. So I look, it is great. I decided, what is the worst ensemble that I can put together to further tank my ratings? And I got sweatpants and a raincoat. And
Wait, you get to choose what you wear?
well,
That's awesome.
You have to buy it.
Okay.
So I went out, I bought sweatpants and a raincoat, and no one likes my
what
outfit.
kind of shoes?
I'm wearing just some black slides that I have because I was wearing super fancy shoes and people liked them. So I had to then go with the worst shoes I could find. So I got a raincoat,
Some
sweatpants.
slides and sweatpants.
Exactly.
Very attractive, Curtis.
I mean, we call that a trip to Meyer, right? Around here, it's not high fashion. That's what people are wearing out to Meyer.
I call that Tuesday.
You call that like a Tuesday?
Nothing
or
wrong with
Wednesday?
that.
Yeah, more like a Friday.
That's your
Amanda
Friday.
and I generally, if we're going to dress down, it's usually really on a Friday.
Are you guys wearing sweatpants today?
I am.
I'm not.
Okay.
I have jeans on. That was a
50
stupid decision, by the way.
50% of us, or you two, have
50% of us.
No, not of us.
She and I.
Right, the two of you, 50%
Yeah.
of you have sweatpants
Do you have
on.
yoga pants on or sweatpants?
It's yoga pants, yeah.
Okay, I got the shorts on again because you know what? I'm not very professional.
Hey, it's
either.
gonna be it's gonna be 62 today. It'll be awesome. It'll be perfect when you leave.
I was watching The Real yesterday. That's that new talk show, like The View.
Yeah.
Two things about The Real. Number one, they beat The View in New York. They made a whole big deal out of doing that. And they're like,
Okay.
hey, we beat The View in New York, and high-fived each other and hugged and everything. But number two, they had makeovers. And, oh, no, it was Meredith Vieira's show. They had, they
Okay.
were doing makeovers. And one of the guys wore exactly my everyday outfit. And they were just making fun of it. Shorts and a T-shirt or a sweatshirt, and let's get this guy fixed up. And then they put him in a suit, and it's like, well, of course he looks better. His wife was crying. I'm like, of course he's crying. You're crying.
Did they
He's
like
in
do
a
his
suit.
hair and stuff too?
They
Or
cut his hair. Yeah, so they gave him a makeover, and it's like, of course. He's not wearing shorts and a T-shirt. He's wearing a suit. But he can only wear that. He can't wear that every day.
no?
The same suit.
You're not gonna sit around the house in
Hey,
that.
well, where'd you get the suit? Oh, Meredith Vieira. Why are you wearing it every day?
No
well,
kidding.
that's all they gave me. They gave me one outfit. I can't wear
So
shorts
much
anymore.
easier to make over a guy, though.
Right.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Cut their hair, and women,
Oh, women are a piece of work.
you gotta color
right?
their hair and cut it and do their eyebrows.
And then they cry. You're cutting my hair. And then like, it looks beautiful.
Or they hate it. I've seen so many times where they hate
yeah.
it.
And then they make the sad face. And then
Yeah.
they cry.
Or it looks great for that day, but then you don't know how to do it like
Right.
a stylist knows how to do
Like
it.
what not to wear. They always do it so good, and then they have to
Uh-huh.
go back and meet their family and do it on their own. They never look the
impossible.
same.
It's like
No.
it's like that Terry Caputo's hair, where it's all like poofy. Like
Teresa?
yeah, somebody did a good job on that hair the first time, but she doesn't quite. It kind of gets away from her.
It's hard to do it on your own.
Right.
Just like makeup, too.
Makeup's
I would
almost
think people
impossible.
should have a makeup class about
Yeah.
how to put makeup on.
Well, have you been watching Wendy Reed's little makeup class that she does on YouTube, on the Channel 95.7 YouTube channel?
No.
She is doing,
No, she doesn't know how to put it on.
but she's teaching herself. She's like, it's
Okay.
a little makeup tutorial. So she sees how to do it, and then she does it, and then you see how beautiful she looks. It's good stuff. We got all kinds of stuff on the YouTube. We got our podcast
The
that we
YouTube.
do, fun videos. Did we put any fun videos up this week?
Not this week.
What the heck? We got to get fun, right?
We do have to get fun.
Somebody said they want to see a video of the cheers that I have remembered from my high school days.
Oh, you should do
Maybe
that.
next week we'll do that. I'll get like a cheerleader outfit.
TRU. TRU.
No.
CK.
No.
Well, how does it go?
TRU. TRUCK. Keep on trucking.
TRUCK. You need to put that one on
Yeah,
there
that's
for
a fun
sure,
one. We
'cause
got
I like
the
that one.
alligator one. We got the jump, shake your booty. Jump, shake your booty.
Mm-hmm.
This will be a YouTube smash. This will break YouTube.
Okay, so
probably.
next week you're going to do that, you promise, right now?
I mean, we'll see if I can get the skirt and the fun little sweater, and if I can, we'll do it.
Oh, that'll be a good look.
Yeah.
I actually have a skirt you could probably wear and get away with it.
Okay, do you have a sweater too?
Yeah.
I'll
No.
I need a
No,
sweater,
I don't
too.
think so.
Well, if you have a high school and you have like a 2X or 1X.
2X?
what do you think?
You're not a 2X.
No, but I'm a 2X woman. I try an extra large women's things sometimes.
What size pants
Not
do you wear?
even
What
close.
size is your waist?
36?
That's not a 2X.
34, 36-ish?
For a skirt? That's
Okay.
not 2X.
Sweater, though, I'm talking.
Oh.
I got the broad shoulders.
Yeah, me too.
Connie and Curtis.
Connie